Wow.
Exists, but is like shit archery because they haven't got that sharpshooter thing no more.
Yeah, but they have
Gregory,
other
Yeah. Huh?
yeah, it's just not as good. Worm doesn't exist. Don't think Ember can exist. And you can. To Gregory, well, to Gregory's made up anyway, but he is technically a paladin, so yeah, he can do it. And Vorak.
I can't be an
Really?
ancestors.
You see, there's
Can't
no
do
ancestors now.
Yeah.
But
I
there
think
is.
Sharog's alright.
You'd
No,
want to
actually, is she? Because
Am I?
you're Tempest, aren't you? Is that right?
No,
What are you?
no.
No, you're
Watermane.
Wardomain.
Yeah,
Waterman,
yeah.
that exists.
Is that a new one?
Vorak would probably want to be, I would say, either Berserker or Path of the World Tree.
Oh, if I was going to redo it, I'd probably go down the Berserker tree, to be fair. If I was going to
Makes
remake
sense.
it.
Well, that Berserker's better than it used to be, because Berserker
Yeah.
used to be pants.
Also, Goliaths now are changed in the new.
I know, that's cool as shit. I can't find that's the thing though. It's like,
As in what? What bit? What bit about
well, because
it?
they're related to the giants that they would descend from, aren't they?
Oh yeah, so you
So
can
like,
be
you
Cloud
could be,
or Frost
you
or
could be,
something,
yeah, cloud or fire or fucking earth or what's the other ones?
Storm, Cloud, Fire, Frost, Hill.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, that's the one. Yeah.
So. Yeah,
You
it will
get
be
your
different.
ability, your abilities change on that.
And they get that skill that I think orcs have.
Which one?
Is it the endurance one? I don't remember.
No, it's, you don't get anything really with your. You get very little with your species choices.
Yeah, that comes down to it. Oh fuck, I can't even remember them.
It's really limited. You get more with your origin.
I think it's to stop.
and stuff.
It's to stop all the fucking claims that they're fucking against certain races or some shit, isn't it? Sorry, species.
There's no half species, so there's no mixing anymore. You can't be a half elf. You can't be a half orc.
Yeah, you can.
No, that's what they.
Yeah,
I mean,
no,
you
yeah,
can.
You can.
But they've
I said
taken
you
them
can't,
out. No, but I'm just saying they've took it out completely.
Why?
It might be, to be fair, that it's just for now, because you got to remember, like they're rewriting the book, so Goliaths weren't even in the first player's handbook for this edition for the 5e. Like they came a lot later, but they are official now. They just came out in a book fucking years later.
There's no Artificer class, but Artificers came out in the Eberron, which is where you've got constructs and stuff. So they've just reduced it all to like bare bones. But you only get like four subclasses per class.
Which again was the same in the original player's handbook.
Yeah, but they've also done a big one with mages and clerics, because mages, they used to have like every single type of mage was a thing. So you could be an evoker, you could be an an illusion. So they all came. So there was like 12 different subclasses of mage, and yet there was 3 kinds of rogue. So they've increased it for some, but they've standardized it all on just 4 choices. Now that's because this is the initial base game that they're talking about doing. There's still going to be expansions, but this is the base 3 books.
And the thing is,
we're just going to milk it, aren't they, for the moment?
Well, I mean, obviously,
anyway.
That's what they've been doing all this time. Yeah, that's why they keep releasing books like they do.
Yeah, that's not.
And that's why we won't. We'll probably get the new players. Well, we've got the new players handbook coming. I'll get the what do you call it? The DM guide at some point, and I'll probably get some of the monster books. But the rest of it, the base work's there for the rest of the classes. It's backwards compatible as well, which actually, in fairness to them, is a pretty good move for the players. That means we can use all the 5e stuff that we've already got to some extent. Although I feel like the player classes are going to fall short of the new ones.
I don't think they are.
You don't think the old ones will?
No, no. Sorry, the older ones. So I
think the old ones will fall short of the new ones.
Yeah, the only thing that'll be any different is if you do like a hybrid subclass. So you try and make a swashbuckler, for example, and you take some of the abilities for a swashbuckler and add it to a rogue. So you kind of homebrewing the Swashbuckler class, it'd end up being really powerful. Because of the way that it's done, but that's why they've tried to balance it a bit more.
Well, yeah, and the thing is, like for melee classes specifically, like the way that so it sounds, so not getting anything with your race or species, whatever you want to call it, sounds like a big fucking drawback, but actually it's not, because a lot of your stuff comes through specifically what weapons you're planning to use, and the feat, you get a lot more feats and stuff.
And your background. That's
and your background, and your background is what holds what you're capable of.
And that's
doing,
why they've not got half species, half races, whatever you want to call it, because other than saying you're a dwarf, it's just like you're a dwarf. But you can be a human, you can be a small human or a medium human. You can do that for nearly every class now, apart from dwarfs. You can't be a small dwarf, I don't think. But
I'm a small dwarf.
no, you're a dwarf.
Yeah, but you're a small dwarf within the confines of dwarfism.
Yeah, but you're still classed as medium. But I don't think you can actually be a small dwarf, even though you can be a small human or a small elf. Or
that's fucking stupid.
You can't be a small Goliath, for example.
Well, I mean, yeah, but you be a medium one. You be a large one.
Vertically challenged one.
So,
that's funny.
So there's it's very limited on what your species is, and it's all to do with your background and your class now.
But
so
you see, the thing is, this is the thing, and this is what, because when a lot of people I've seen, I've not looked at anyone, but people that are complaining about the books already, and it's like, well, first of all, you haven't got your hands on them, but secondly, you can do what you fucking want. You don't have, like, literally one of the first rules is you don't have to play by these rules. Why do people always fucking forget the first 3 rules of the books?
The dorks, and they're like, actually, in the book it says.
Yeah, but you see that, and that's the problem. So all those DMs that are like, oh, I hate fucking rules lawyers. It's simple. You go, yes, but if we go right back to the beginning of the book where you haven't fucking read it, look what it says. It says, I get to fucking say.
But that's a rule, and I don't believe in them. The other thing about the what was I saying? We were talking about this the other day. You know, the flaws and what is it called? Flaws, bonds.
Oh,
and,
yeah.
They've got rid of all that. So all you get is get is like a couple of things. You get very you used to get personality traits, then you got ideals, bonds, and flaws. Now you just get personality traits, and they're not even as descriptive as they were before. So that's a bit.
But again, I mean, that's the bit that you really make it up for yourself. I mean, that was always a bit of a weird one for me, because people like Kieran, when he first started making characters, I don't know whether you all did it, but like he always felt like he had to fill them out, and so you fucking don't. Like you play your character the way you want to play. You don't have to fill that.
Yeah, I choose them often anyway rather than roll them. So it's like, no, that gives me an idea of what it is I want to be doing, but it's not like
not hard and
a big deal. When you finish your character creation, I believe there's a thing that's like there's 6 questions that you're supposed to ask your character.
The flaws and the ideals.
No. This is an actual 6 questions. Have you ever fallen in love? Have you ever done this? Have you ever? And there's just 6 questions that to try and get your head into your character. It's like, so have you ever been in love? So for Worm, it'd be yes, many times. But you know what I mean? It's like that. It's that kind of question. So you could say no or yes or something, and then it's like there's just 6 simple questions, but it's to kind of like put you in your character.
Yeah, I think some of it
quite a nice way of doing it.
And I think there's that kind of like, if you're the type of person that's going to sit down and write out an entire fucking background for your character and has got it all imagined out, you don't need any of that shit.
No.
But if you're somebody that doesn't really get into that or doesn't have time for all that shit, then it, like you say, it's easier for you to go to answer those questions, be like, right, okay, so this is how I play it, sort of thing. So, and then you just
stop looking at the cheese.
Stop looking at the cheese.
I prefer Doc's method though, of just creating the character and then playing it and seeing what happens. And like, this is who he is. Okay.
Well, that's the way I always think of it. It's like if you ever read a book, the background of the character in the book is kind of quite often just like, yeah, he was a blacksmith.
Yep.
He liked horses. You know, it's that
Grew
kind of.
grew up in a quiet village.
Yeah, that's it. That's
Sounds
your
like somebody.
backstory. It's like what? And then the
Turns
whole
out he's the son of the Duke. Bastard son of the Duke.
bastard son of the Jew. But anyway, it's that the background to it is like, yeah, it's like a couple of lines, and then it's like, yeah, there's do stuff, and then
then release him into the world to see what happens.
yeah, then the character becomes somebody, and it's like, oh yeah, well that's how it works, and that's because it. What's the word I'm looking for? Progression.
Yep.
It's as one thing happens, then you turn a particular way, and then you develop a character that way. Anyway, I'm still
Yes.
29 strength, and I've got this slap this bitch up, haven't we? So where's your tackle now?
Weren't we going to see the king?
Yeah.
Yeah.
The Duke. The Duke.
Yeah.
Hadouken.
And I'm still
Yeah.
heartbroken because I've just found out she's got a husband.
There might be
Yeah.
it might be open, might be an open relationship. There might be.
Well, she's already admitted that because she's into like ogres, isn't she?
I don't think that was. I think you decided that she was into it. I feel like that's what
She
happened.
had her friend, didn't she? That came with us, and we were like, huh? You know
Yeah, she knew
him?
him.
Huh?
Yeah. Well, he told you where to come. He told you to come here and see the giants.
You just didn't
Right.
know.
Right, it's intuition, insight. That's what it is. Insight.
yeah. Yeah, I don't remember any roles on that. I gotta be honest
I
with
don't
you.
think we.
I think Worms decided it in his head.
Somebody give me guidance.
Guidance. What is my purpose?
I mean, as far as you're concerned, yeah, obviously you're right. Why would you have thought it if it wasn't true?
Wow, best guidance ever.
Oh dear. Yep, that worked out really well for you.
Yep. So absolutely
Perfect.
convinced.
Yep. Can't tell either way, so it must be true. That's how it works, right?
Yes.
Question for you, actually.
Oh.
You know,
Go
say you're in a conversation and you need to do like a persuasion check or something,
Yeah.
and like it's like, oh, this would be a good time to cast guidance. So you're in the background, like casting guidance on someone, and you have to actually say the words and stuff.
Of
and
course,
can you
it's a
just do it
vocal
like
spell.
can you do it like really quiet and subtly, or can the person that you're talking to
Well-
see that you're doing it?
That's when you also have to make a slight hand check.
See, it's a visual and
Or a stealth
spoken
check to see whether
component.
yeah, to see whether you can
Basically, you just yell guidance and put your hand on somebody. I mean,
yeah. I'll guide you in the middle of a conversation.
yeah, just somebody just do something. Somebody will just grab you and shout guidance. It's like,
That's just
Be
what I'm
guided,
used
my
to
friend.
saying Baldur's Gate. 'Cause
Everybody in the world,
when you
everybody
see
in the
it
world's
here,
just used to it and ignores it, right? That's
It's just like you'd be talking to someone. It's like, where's Shadowheart? I need guidance.
Yeah, and you hear the sound in the background, like.
and just like and this golden light coming from you. And it's like, this is all happening mid conversation. What must these NPCs be thinking?
Yeah, I mean, you
They
can
don't.
precast
They're not allowed
it,
to
though. I mean, if
They're
you're
not allowed
doing
to
something, you can
is it?
precast. 1 minute.
it's
I mean,
yeah, so you can do it before. It's also that's massively. I'm not going to keep saying this now, but that's massively changed.
massively
in
changed. It's massively
2024.
changed.
Yeah.
I know.
wait, is it
But
massively
it's still
changed?
funny.
Okay.
Oh,
Yes,
my-
this one's a big change on guidance.
Yeah.
My
I
favourite
think
suggestion.
it's
that I
just
saw
like
was-
once you've done it, it just gives you advantage on a roll. But it's like it's the roll that you choose. You
Right,
can
so it's a bit
you can
like,
give somebody advantage on a
So it's like
ability
oh,
check.
What's
So
the
it's like
bard thing?
bardic inspiration.
Yeah, so it's a bit like that then.
Yeah, but it's like you can have the next minute's worth of advantage on dex checks or something. you can't say,
Oh, I see what you
"Here's-"
mean. Right, yeah.
You have to say what it is. You can't So you could say
Oh.
you've got advantage on dexterity, and then I
So
go,
if you're
right,
gonna go,
well, I'm
if you're
doing
gonna go in and
stealth.
talk to somebody, she gave you guidance.
Mm.
Yes.
You'd have it on like charisma checks.
Charisma.
Got it.
Yes.
Mhm.
Oh, that's cool.
So, but
That's
you've got
cool,
to
actually.
you've got to say which one it is. So if you get it wrong and somebody says, "Here you go, you need advantage
Yeah,
on
and the DM's
dexterity,"
like,
it's like, yeah, I need to do a. Hold on,
Yeah.
that's a wisdom, shit.
I'm pretty certain it's a dex check. I'm checking to see whether I get knocked over. No, wisdom.
Oh no!
But what's it got to do? I'd said first rule in the book.
I have nice wisdom.
You have what? Ice resistance?
Nice,
nice
wisdom.
wisdom.
Jesus
Fucking hell, nerd.
Christ.
It's not her fault. She talks like a little fucking mouse.
Do not speak like a mouse. Shut up.
Not when
Oh,
you talk
do you
like
know,
that.
I've,
no,
ne- I've
sometimes
never
you
I've
do.
never heard a mouse speaking, to be honest.
Haven't you?
No.
It's probably because you're not as fucking mad as I am.
All right. I've never even heard them make a noise, actually, apart from.
Oh,
That's
you
really
got. I have. The cat keeps catching them. They make a lot of fucking noise for a short while, and then they stop making noise.
Hmm.
And then he just throws them around like they're a fucking toy, which is a bit creepy, actually.
Where can I hear Baldur's Gate? Have I got Spotify?
I don't know. Maybe you're imagining that you are playing Baldur's Gate.
No, I did have the
Maybe
sound.
this is
I'm like, why can't
Scrimforge.
I-
Right.
I was
Anyway,
like,
it's
why can't I hear
it's
that
it's now
Yeah,
nearly time to finish. So are we doing anything?
yeah. And I
Yeah.
didn't want to be late tonight because I
No.
need to get up next week, and Liam doesn't want to be late either.
Let's
So yeah,
go,
that's it for
let's
tonight.
go.
Anyway, I'll see you next week. It's just like,
go.
what?
In the next
Technically,
2 months'
technically, I
time.
turned up. Oh god, I'm already fucking sweating. It's not even hot.
Me too, dude. Anywho,
Stop
Anyway,
this. Yeah. Stop going
Right,
off on
yeah.
a tangent.
Well, you started it.
Yeah, and I've stopped it. So
so where is she taking
Okay.
us? Because
She's
we saw
going to-
people... That's not good.
What?
No, I'm just moving the map around because we saw people going in there. The top. That left the chamber when the fight broke out.
Oh no. Right, so that's like you want about up here?
Yeah.
Yeah, no, that's like a storeroom. They put
Oh,
stuff
okay.
away, like tools and stuff away in there. So this one down to the south is to the bottom of the map. It's not actually the south, but anyway, this part of the map down here is where she's going to lead you to. And she's going to lead you out down another long corridor filled with, similar to the one that you came in through, if you can remember how that was
Yes.
all those years ago.
onyx black with flames and stuff.
Yep.
Yeah.
Basically, however you imagine a fire giant's fortress, that's what it looks like. However, as the doors open for you to pass through to come out, a lot of the giants that were working in here, and there's still guards either side of the door, and a lot of the giants that were working here make their way back in to continue their work. And there's a brief conversation with her, and a lot of looks at her as if to say, like a lot of sideways glances at her in the kind of like, fucking hell, she looks battered. Once the rest of us are strutting out of the room like nothing's fucking happened, because I don't think anybody.
I think Shin took some damage from a flame thing, and you
I
took a
think
bit.
some of us got knocked about a bit, but no one got
Yeah,
really.
but not a
fucked
lot.
there.
I think we
Like
control a
for
lot of
hang
the
on, what am I
situation.
on? Yeah, I mean, she just didn't. Yeah, I mean, Sharog's taken a bit, Shin's taken a bit involved, but like, there's probably not even going to be noticed. They're like the three people that is going to be noticed on the least. So
Yeah, I think I got battered, but that was in elemental form.
yeah, exactly. So,
I'm fine.
so you as Anya doesn't look like you've been touched at all.
Elemental
I don't think anybody healed either, did they? Just Sir Gregory get battered.
No, he took 4 damage.
Oh right, yeah, okay.
No,
I
Anya
can't
healed
remember.
her though.
Yeah, Anya actually healed her, and it made like no fucking difference.
Sympathy.
So she walks out
We
looking.
did have a rest though, didn't we?
No.
Because I've got. Sure,
No,
we did.
nah.
Oh no, I still got a spell slot.
But, there,
Oh,
but
no.
you will get one before.
No,
anything
Sir
else
Gregory used his entire 60 hit points. I don't know whether he did it on himself or somebody
Did
else on
you?
Lay on Hands. I don't know. He might have used it on
quite
himself.
well on,
I feel like Sir Gregory did get hit with something, but I forgot. Fuck.
Was it the lava?
I possibly got caught in the lava or something, or I don't know. I really can't fucking remember that far back. Anyway, so she leads down another corridor and past several. Actually, so this one, as you start to make your way down, there are openings and entrances and ways in and out of it as you make your way down it, and there's things that look like other crafting rooms where they're making stuff. You're not sure what. Although those with the better perception would see things like gears and cogs and stuff like that being made in some of the rooms.
It's not the twins.
The twins are just like, oh, giants everywhere.
Oh, look at that.
Oh, it's hot. It's still hot, even though I had that drink.
Yeah.
Worm somehow just looks fucking stacked. He's just fucking massive. He's got massive bulging arms and everything. No one's quite sure how that happened.
Has he suddenly grown like, what's it called, an ox neck? Isn't that what it's called? You know what they have on
what? So he's got
bodybuilders?
he got no neck.
Yeah.
Wolf's got no neck. even his fucking ears have got
Wow.
muscles.
You're perceptive.
Yes.
Yeah, so there's also
'Cause I've got wisdom.
Mm.
That's how it works. There's also rooms. There's a room as you pass by. So Worm, Sir Gregory, and Anya, because she's having a good look. Unless anybody else is also having a good look. Go where you're walking around.
Probably Ember would have a look around, because But
I'm a
she.
dwarf, so this is fascinating to me.
Well, there's fire giants to some extent, like Doc said last when we played before. Yeah, okay. They're kind of like big dwarfs, but fiery. If that makes sense. There's a lot of like geometric patterns and like rune lore and living under the apart from they live by volcanoes rather than just in mountains where there was gold and shit.
Yeah.
Or mithril. And a lot of forges and that kind of stuff going on. So all of you, so Anya, Ember, Sir Gregory, although Sir Gregory's vision doesn't go that far, but maybe you can see something. And Worm, or maybe you can sense it in some way. There is one room where it seems like they're forging some kind of runes into gems. Very intricate work. You don't get to see a lot of it, but each of you manages at some point as you're passing by the room to catch like a glimpse of precious stones and with etchings and stuff on them as they're being moved from place to place or used in some way or worked on. And then the door shuts because somebody sees you looking in.
Oh, stranger danger.
Yeah. Eventually, she leaves, and there's a lot of any of the giants or other people, and it's quite busy now actually. As you head further into the keep, if you like, or the complex, the keep, you come across more people. You come across fire giant children, and grown-ups alike. You come across other races, like walking around in groups. You see bugbears and a few orcs here and there, and other races moving around amongst them. Not a lot, but you see a few. And you are eventually led to. Anyway, so there's a lot of funny looks, especially more from the giants than the other people. Not the other races, sorry, species. She gets a lot of odd looks. You look battered. Like you give her a really fucking good going over. And she's almost like you can see she's somebody that's trying not to walk with a limp. To some extent, because almost like she got stabbed in the foot or something, or her ankle got twisted at a funny angle and she got knocked over or something. I don't know. Anyway, and there's a lot of odd looks as she looks battered and bruised, but these new guests to the stronghold seem to just be fine. And a lot of people are
Just do a full-on sprint to keep up with her.
Unless somebody picks you up. I'm sure she moderates her pace a little bit for us. Although, well, yeah, actually, yeah. So she is moderating. She is moderating a pace, but it's maybe less to do with like allowing you to keep up, and possibly more to do with the fact that she hurt her leg. Yeah.
What is your movement?
Mine?
Sorry.
Mine's shit. 30 feet.
Well, that's the same as
I'd go
everyone
north,
else's.
actually.
Oh, that's because I got
Yeah,
that
but
feat,
she's-
didn't I?
Yeah, but she like the giants have like 40, isn't it? I think. I'm sure it didn't used to be. I'm sure giants. It was that weird thing because Kieran picked up on it years ago. The giants had a similar walking speed to like humanoids, other humanoids.
Yeah, but have you ever watched like?
It's 30 feet.
But have you ever watched what's it called? The stop motion thing, chasing the Argonauts. When they're fighting all the big giants and things, they walk really slowly. So
Yeah, but they
Because
wouldn't, know, would they?
because of the stop motion, that's what it is. So she's
Right.
speed
Yeah.
it
Is,
up.
is that why? Is it? Yeah. I
Mhm.
think it's stupid. Yeah. So apparently, yeah, the speed is. I think that's really fucking weird. I guess, well, like you say, it's more ponderous, isn't it? Like, ooh, ooh. I don't imagine she is. I imagine it being quicker than that. Well, they're like, for me, they're just big. They're just taller humans, or in this case, dwarves.
Yeah,
Oh.
which have got no movement at all. So yes,
Yeah, okay. but also, like, their legs are longer than we are tools, so surely they can move quicker.
well they're not. They're only like 12 feet tall. So
No, they're not. Mine are 25 feet tall.
yeah, but they're really only 12 foot tall. They're just really big for worm.
That's true.
I want
Anyway.
to an album
Anyway, yes.
before, but I've got no shapeshift left.
No, because he used it for.
Sad times.
I'd say
On a
that
short rest though.
Yeah.
I'd say that it's easy enough to keep pace. Anyway, so eventually she comes to a room and the hallway itself slides up and reveals a chamber that isn't quite as fiery and hot as all the ones that you've passed through before. It's a bit cooler, and sat on the floor actually next to a long, low table, although more normal height for you lot, is a huge male fire giant with a great big fucking red beard and a great big mane of red hair, who turns in your direction, and a big crown on his head as well. And as you see this, as he turns towards you, you also notice, those of you that can see the entire room, that all your friends that you came with are sat around the table, apart from a bunch of the goblins that you saved, who have all curled up in a corner in a big massive pile and are asleep. But most of the three ogres and a handful of the Tonys that haven't fallen asleep yet are sat at the table. The goblins are still like consuming alcohol, food, whatever's available to them on the table. The huge fire giant turns to you all. He goes, "Ah, wife, you look." He kind of hesitates for a moment, and she's like, "Battered?" Let himself through. So he's like, like there's a short conversation passing between the ways. Like, so these, oh god. So how like who are our guests, sort of thing. So she introduces you all, and he's like, "Can't fucking, I'm not fucking back and forth in. I'm not doing it. I'm not doing it." So yeah. So at one point he's like, "Oh, so, oh god, I can't remember what I was going to say now." Oh, this is what happened last time. I'm not doing it again. All right, so after you are introduced, she, what was the fucking?
Hazel.
No, hang on a minute. He
Oh.
asks how it went, essentially, right? To which she's kind of like, well, I can't remember the last time I was so. Basically, I can't remember the last time I was so soundly humiliated in my own forge. And he's kind of like, you can see he's kind of taken back a minute. He's like, oh. She's like, put it this way. She's like, if it turns out they are spies for the drow, I don't think I or anybody else here are going to stop them. Essentially, and he's like, Really?
worm then pipes
It's
up
kind,
and
it's
says-
kind of like
Worm
Well, you
pipes
can
up and
see-
says, "What do you mean, spies? We came to ask you for help
can't be too careful.
against the drow."
Well, yeah, but they've tried. The drow are incredibly sneaky. I can't think of the right fucking word. It's not. I wasn't thinking sneaky. What's the What the fuck? Who was that motorbike?
I think that's Helen's actually sat outside on the street.
Don't play in the dark there.
Not fucking. What's cunning? The dark elves. The drow are cunning
No.
and would try any kind of methods to infiltrate where they needed to. We had to make sure.
You can see that there's a confused expression on Worm's face. He says, "How cunning would they be to come in and say we want your assistance against them?"
Well, they could be luring us into a trap.
Okay.
Anyway, so Yesna is just kind of, you can see he's like really taken aback by the fact that she's just. So he's like, well. And you can see he tries to like mollify his wife a little bit, and he's like, wait, I'm sure you weren't beaten that soundly, dear. And she's like, kind of looks around at the rest of the group and looks back to him and says, I'm the only one that's received any healing.
Is there a giant sized ale cup on the table?
There is, yeah, that's his.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so Worm just. I don't want to take his, but if there's another one, Worm just walks over.
So there's various size ones. There's some there that are like this on the size for ogre size, if you like.
Yeah, well, he walks over to one of the larger ones, the giant sized one, just picks up with one hand, just starts just swigging from it.
Actually big
As he's
enough.
talking, yeah, but just like just start swigging from it. Anyway, he's saying, "Anyway, what's it like to be king?"
It's like stressful sometimes. Worm, is it?
Captain work, yeah.
Oh, well, you're captain, so you should know what it's like a bit.
Well, I was wondering why do you think it's stressful?
Well, because
I mean, you lay here on your ass, and you've got people doing everything for you. So,
And you're just face palming. Not just saying.
what, I mean, what
Vorak's already seen food and ale and moved to the table and found a seat. Vorak is not listening to this conversation when he's like, oh yeah.
Shout out to
What's
Jason.
before
So they're
we
like,
carry on
"Oh."
with that one? What is everybody else doing whilst Worms chatting up the king? Apparently.
Well, Pico's obviously gone with you.
Well, obviously, there's cheese on the
Obviously.
table.
There you go. I'm going to investigate the different beers.
while Worm's
I recognise
talking,
any.
Sir Gregory's just stood next to, or near him, and he just takes his helmet off because it's warm and starts wiping his forehead.
Yeah. Dabbing his, yeah. Makes
Do the
sense.
rest of us see that?
But he actually produces from somewhere a handkerchief and starts like putting it across his forehead.
Has it got pink spots on it?
Oh
Or is
yeah,
it
my
just white?
flowers have probably wilted, haven't they?
Or is it a white one with like a, what's
Probably.
it called? Is it embroidery, like the little embroidered flowers in the corner?
Yeah.
It's just a little fancy one.
So with a pillow sun
Oh,
dawn
right,
thing
okay, yeah,
as
that
well
makes
in the
sense.
corner. Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
But just dabbing it on his forehead, and it's like
Does he wring it out and like way too much sweat comes out of it?
yeah, actually dripped onto the floor. This-
Yeah. Ew. Wait. Ew. Yeah, the rest would see it, but like it's just Sir Gregory, right?
But yeah, your flowers probably would be struggling, Anya.
Oh yeah,
I don't know
Anya's
if they would
flowers.
die though, but I don't know.
They're probably wilted in the heat at this point.
Sort of go off into the corner then.
Yeah.
Take off my flower crown and put my hood up.
Okay.
That doesn't sound less heat though.
Yeah, but
Sounds like it hotter.
Quite torturous.
it's actually cool. Like I say, it's cooler in here though. Like the king's actually sat in here wearing like a bit like he's wearing a fur coat, sort of thing. He's not wearing a big bulky fucking cloak, sort of thing. Whereas obviously like the goblins and the ogres, and for you actually, it feels a lot more reasonable temperature. So what's Borgin and Shin doing whilst Worm's talking?
Borgin is just looking around, seeing what you can see. And that's the process Shin is doing.
It's a I don't know how like it's a the architecture, if you like, is still fairly similar to the corridors, but it's in the shape of a larger room. There's actually so the door that you came in through, the room like directly in front of you is where the king sat, but then the room kind of opens up to the left, if that makes sense. So it goes ahead a little bit that way, and it's like a long, sort of narrowish room. And at the far side, you can see other doorways that are shut, but there are other doorways at the opposite end of the room. There's two in the far wall, sorry. So, but they're shut at the minute. There's food on the table, stuff like that. There's like I said, a pile of goblins in the corner. There's some tapestries on the walls that seem to be depicting battle scenes, or perhaps one or two of them seem to be seen as maybe crafting or something like that, like giants stood around anvils or holding tongs and tools and stuff like that. But other than that, it's whatever you imagine it would look like for fire giants having created guest rooms for people that weren't giant size, if you like.
I was going to say, so it's not like the throne room. It's just like
no. He's come down to speak to his friends. Essentially, is what you pick up on. That have visited and talked to them.
Imagining the Green Guzzler.
Oh, right.
Wow.
Huh?
I'm imagining like the Green Guzzler in WoW, where all the dark ends are from, that sort of thing.
So the question I've got is, as Sir Gregory is doing that and is making it is really in front of these two, he's not hiding the fact that he is just an empty suit of plate at this point.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm just wondering whether he did I think we mentioned something when we were at the gate. Can't exactly remember, but it was something to do with because they're into armoring and stuff.
Oh, about getting some help, or
Yeah,
some
or
improvements.
something. Yeah, it was something either.
I
It
think
was
we
to do with
talked
Sir
about that at
Gregory.
the table, because I know Sharog asked about stuff like that as well. I think that was in the same conversation.
Oh, when we were sat
When we
talking
were
to
eating,
her.
yeah.
Yeah.
The meal. I think that was the time.
Possibly. That sounds about right.
Yeah. Ember's writing hand is itching because she promised not to write anything.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
And she's just taking in all the sights. And she's like, oh.
Shit, I wish I had a better memory.
Yeah. But she did promise not to write anything because, they weren't too trusting of the Cobalt Soul.
Yeah, that's
So
true.
She's like,
Yeah. Well, I mean, that was, yeah, that's why the door got shut. There was Ember's face, the door got shut. Everybody else would have like, oh, they're not going to know what they're talking about.
Pico was
So as soon as
dressed
Ember was like, oh, what's that? Okay. Alright.
it carries the colors of the Cobalt Souls. Close it. Oh, was that it?
So
Pico would grass you up the second you got your pen out.
yeah,
You know that little shithead would.
just flapping around her head and knocking the pen out of her hand and stuff.
Just start hovering over her, screeching so everyone can see.
No, her book is firmly in her bag because she did show her that it was empty about everything going on in here. So she's not risking it. You guys so stupid.
So, alright, hang on. So Worm, you was. Oh yeah, right. That was last thing Worm said about him sitting on his ass.
Seems like that's being, waited on by people. So it seems that doesn't seem very stressful to me.
Wow.
Well, he actually says to you, he said, well, that's where you get it wrong. Because I wasn't waiting on, I brought all this food here for you myself, not myself. He's not that kind of king. Well, he said, and then he kind of goes, I brought it all here myself. And then kind of like does with a bit of help. Because there is a lot of food and fucking like ale kegs and shit on the table. Speaking of which, there's various sorts of ales. Some you don't recognise all on you, and a few that you do recognise actually as being fairly good dwarven ales and stouts and such. What's Borgin and Shin doing? Borgin's looking around the room. What's Shin doing?
Shin is gonna eat food.
Yeah, okay, fair enough. It says, and I'm just taking a break for now, sort of thing. It was like he's not sure why he's answering. There's a slight look on his face. He's like, "Why the fuck am I answering to you?"
He just sort of shrugs and says, "Oh, well, fair enough."
Alright, yeah. Anyway, I've come to speak to my friends who've been telling me a very interesting story about, well, all of you actually. And he kind of like indicates the rest of you. I'm guessing that at various stages of being sat around the table or in the room at this point.
Well, they're good stories.
So he kind of relays the ogre's version of the rescue, which is actually weirdly, wildly overinflated compared to the way that you tell the story. You like where like when we tell the story, it's just like, well, yeah. So we kind of walked in there and then opened the gates and then just beat everybody, like climbed over the walls and beat everybody up and then like saved them. Yeah, this is a massively long-winded fucking story. and there's bodies flying everywhere, and there's fucking spells flying everywhere, and people getting lifted up and thrown in the air, and people literally just flying around. Like all of us can fly. Every single one of us just flies around whatever we want, shooting in lightning bolts from our eyes, which did happen. But only one of us did that. There was like the hidden archer that nobody could see, and there was arrows coming out of the sky, thousands of them. There must have been a whole army.
And the
flying
dinosaur.
And the dinosaur, yeah.
Was it
They
just
don't know
one,
what that was, though.
Was it
It's
just
some weird
one,
creature.
though?
No, because we can all turn into massive, like, dinosaur creatures and stuff. So,
People
like,
jumping off the dinosaur.
it's literally the complete opposite to the story that we tell. Whereas we're like, well, this is what happened, and they're like, why are you just breezing over that? That's quite impressive. And I'm sure it sounds like you've missed something out there. There's something not quite adding up in this story. With theirs, it's like, yeah, okay, no one's going to fucking believe you. Okay, calm the fuck down. All of them can turn into dinosaurs. And they all jumped off the one dinosaur. Which is it? There's a massive confused tale. But he seems to have managed to remember every single fucking word that they've said. And tried to piece it all together into some kind of, like, epic story of what we achieved rescuing them. Like, but Vorex, I don't remember that. Not quite like that, no.
Didn't Shin die?
No.
Who
No,
died?
He did go down. Though,
Ember
didn't
went. Oh yeah, he did die, and Ember went down.
I think
but he
Shin and
wasn't-
Ember both went down. Yeah.
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 Well, they died and then it got better.
Oh shit! Yeah, no, didn't
Yeah.
Shin actually die?
No, he
Yeah,
did
he
because
died.
he had
Yeah, Ember went down because she got knocked out with the poison. But yeah, Shin fucking.
Yeah,
Shin
because
was
she
gone.
was getting
yeah,
on
he
Anya,
died,
dinosaur.
but he got better.
Yeah, yeah. Well, they missed out the bit where he died. But he's alright now, aren't you? The boy just like fucking nudges Shin a bit.
Yes.
Yeah, see, he's fine. I mean, still occasionally turns hairy, but you know,
Depends on the situation.
he gets a bit moody sometimes. But other than that, yeah, no. I don't remember being able to
Is
fly.
it still a wolf? Or did he shapeshift out of it?
It's who?
Huh? Is Shin still a wolf?
Oh, I don't know actually.
Because he did.
Yeah,
Oh,
actually,
no.
that's a good point. You were shapeshifted last time.
Yeah.
You went wolf out. Oh, there you go. See, he's turned back.
We all chanted for it. Everyone went wolf, wolf, wolf,
Oh,
wolf.
oh, oh! And then you
Yeah.
did fucking nothing. That's a wolf. Obviously. you ran up to her and tickled her ankles.
Mhm.
I'm a show wolf, okay?
It's
I'm a
wolf.
shower.
Yeah, it's
I'm
a
a
shower,
shower.
It's a shower, not a grower. Wait,
Take that as you will.
no, I won't. I'm definitely a grower, not a shower. Fucking hell. Imagine that. If you no, anyway, leave that.
Yeah.
No, don't want to imagine that.
No,
No.
carrying that thing around all the time. No, thanks.
Like that Olympist who lost the pole jumping.
It's fucking fun.
Funny,
Sounds like having a massive cock, losing it.
Yeah, I remember that. Jesus.
That'll go down in history.
Brilliant. Anyway,
Everything else doesn't matter.
back to-
Just that
back to-
event.
Yeah, just pole vaults.
Yes.
His own pole guy in the way. Yeah. Okay. Right. Anyway, what were we fucking talking about? Oh yeah.
The
Massive
rescue.
penises. Oh right, yeah, the rescue. Yeah.
They-
To which his wife kind of like she cocks an eyebrow at that tale, and she's like, Well, like, the tale that I was told wasn't quite as fantastical as that. However, it was fairly unbelievable. I can't think of the fucking right word for it now. But she just says she could show him later or show him the story if he wants,
Mm.
or the story that we told him. And he's kind of like, do you feel up to it, kind of thing? Because she's now sat down next to him, but she still looks fucking bastard. To which she does, and she does that, and it takes a little while you're all stuffing your faces and getting more and more drunk. And the lights in the room dim, and she pulls over a brazier, and the lights in the room dim, and she actually uses the fire from the brazier to show him the stories that we told her from beginning to end,
that's
the whole story from Sir Gregory. And I mean, obviously, it's her version of what you told her.
Mm.
So, obviously, right back at the start with Sir Gregory being there with as a knight fighting on the way back in time, because you were there at the fucking hell, what is it? Is it the Calamity?
Calamity,
Yes.
yeah.
You were there and you saw literal gods fucking fighting, but I saw the other race and everything, all that shit going on. Right up to you losing your body. Because you didn't lose your soul, you lost your body, which is fucking hilarious. When I think about it.
Where did I
But that
leave it?
works,
I
it's
don't
the other
know.
way round. But it's not though, is it? Because you are if the soul exists and you are the soul, so you don't lose your soul, you lose your body, right? Anyway.
Yeah.
God, who's next oldest? Borghen probably, actually, yeah. Like you see the tale of Borghen, the knight. I mean, it's her version of what Borghen, the story that Borghen told her about fleeing the Cavalier Woods to Uthadern as a child. Oh, actually, are you older than your brother and sister, or are you the younger one?
I'm the younger one.
Right, yeah. So it's your brother that led you away, isn't it?
Yes.
To safety on the night. So and like she shows, like it's kind of like there's shadowy images chasing elves out of the forest sort of thing. But she doesn't know what it was because Borghen can't remember what it was or what they looked like that chased them out of the forest. And being separated from Peyton, making his way to Uthadern. Some of his tales that he told as Glassblade. Eventually, probably Anya's probably the next oldest. I would have thought. How old is Anya?
She's, I can't remember now, she's 22, 24.
Oh, okay. So actually, she
Very
might
young
not be.
one.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So how
young
old?
boy.
So how old's Shin?
Shin's done all of the.
Yeah, he's done quite a lot of training
Quite a lot
and
of
shit.
stuff
So
and
he'd be
30-ish?
So it was
Right,
probably
okay. And
Shin,
what about...
then Anya, then Vorak and
No, hang on.
Showa.
How old was Ember?
28.
Right. So yeah. So probably there's a brief, Rocky style training montage for Shin, and then eventually turning into a wolf for some reason. Probably because he got knocked down too many times and kept getting back up or something. I don't know. Got fed up with getting black eyes, so he turned into a wolf. Ember. Ember's is like a really fucking weird one because it's just Ember reading books in a library somewhere. But, yeah.
What?
And then the twins actually is far more elaborate than everybody else's. Almost like it means way more to her than anybody else's story. Of the twins coming out of the mountains, and on their fucking, it's not really a pilgrimage, but they're, what's it called? That thing that the fucking
Coming of age.
Amish do. Yeah, they're coming of age thing where they go out into the world and fucking experience it, and apparently they're experiencing all of it. Eventually making their way down to Palebank, Worm. Like, her version of the escape, as she remembers it, and being told, or what she remembers being told, because the way that Worm told the story, is like there's some kind of epic struggle between you and the matron on a fucking bridge that's in a black void space, miles above everything else, and you're falling. Well, as you fall, it's actually that moment, like in the movie, where they reach out and then grab something as they're falling.
Oh, like
And that's-
Frodo.
and that-
the-
Yeah. So, and reaches out and grabs it, but instead of it being Gollum with a ring, it's Worm with a fucking crossbow. And eventually making his way to Palebank and then meeting up together, and then basically the story from then on. And it plays out over quite a fucking long time, obviously. And then she ends it all with a, and you know what? Weirdly, I fucking believe them all. It was just like,
When it's doing it, Worm and Vorak keep saying, "Do you remember that bit?"
Oh, this is the good one.
Oh.
Remember that?
Yeah, this is-
Yeah.
yeah, completely spoiling it
Yeah.
for everybody else. Was saying, and then the next bit's really good when and then you like, give it
remember
all
when you got
away.
eaten? You got eaten like that? Look, you got eaten! Look, you got eaten!
Hey, remember you got eaten? I remember that.
Yeah. Remember when you got eaten straight after I got eaten? Wolfie! He's not here, is he?
Yeah, and then it's the one dragon, and then it's the other dragon, and then it's the other dragon,
yeah.
and then it's the other dragon. And each time we're just laughing at it.
Oh, the bit like, because no one really saw what Worm was doing under the dragon. But it's
No.
like, it plays out as this kind of fucking epic scene of Worm clinging on for dear life. Again, it's all kind of like black void space, and Worm just clinging onto the underside of this bright white fucking dragon, stabbing at it until it collapses. Because I'm assuming she doesn't know the part about the bit where you stabbed into the gem and then things went weird. Or did you tell her that?
No, because I've just said I'm just being told by Lolth I've got to do stuff, but I'm not actually like mentioning that stuff because it's a bit like weird.
Yeah, okay. Even Worm's
Eat like worms
"That's
and
just
like
weird." Yeah, that's weird though. Yeah, that is a bit fucking... Better not tell anybody, they think I'm going fucking mad. And he's like, so... He kind of looks at her almost like, he's like, turns to her and he's like, so... And looks at her kind of expectantly, and she's like, I think they might be the missing piece. I think they might be what we need.
I'm a piece. And she starts, smacking herself like, huh?
Yeah. Boris like, I'm not missing anything. Pulls his trousers open. It's like, no. He's smart bit anyway. That's fine. Boris like, oh.
Ember's like,
He
I
said-
don't think that's what they mean. Oh. What?
Just face palming again.
Is that you're back at the table now?
Yeah, just constant face palming at everything everyone's saying. Like, I can't believe I'm with these people. What am I doing with my life? Finding a bloody
It's
forest spirit not to do anything.
Why?
Why
Okay.
did this
You
happen
like
to
this?
me? Oh.
So he kind at that point he kind of leans forward a bit. I mean, it's really fucking awkward for him because he's actually sat on the fucking floor. And it's like that kind of like, you know, like when somebody, do you know those people that can't sit fucking cross-legged
Yeah.
for whatever reason? Yeah, so he's all like trying to fucking find a position where he can actually sit. He's all like, oh fuck, he's moving around a lot. Anyway, so he moves. So he leans forward and he kind of looks at you all looks you all over once, and he's like, kind of nods his head a little bit. He says, I think we might be able to help each other if you're interested. I mean, obviously that's what you came here for, but
So when are we leaving?
he says, well, he kind of gets, so he goes, well, and like kind of brightens up a little bit, and then looks around and sees like, you know, the rest of the goblins have actually fallen asleep now because they've ate and drank themselves into the slumber.
Aw,
And like there's only one of the ogres still fucking going. That's Glut, obviously. And the others are gone. He's like, looks back to his wife, looks back over you again. He says, we should take this somewhere more private. Come. And he kind of stands up, stretches himself out because he's fucking hurting from sitting on the floor for too long.
Oh no, he got this
Let's go.
sleepy foot thing. Oh.
Yeah. He limps out of the room now.
Oh. You're just sitting on the floor too long. You're like, oh, my leg.
Yeah. Well, mine's my ass because I've got like a bony ass apparently. Anyway. So he like, come on, let's go, and he kind of leads you out the room. And as he walks out, he doesn't even look back to see whether he's following. Like he just like there's that kind of like, you know, like down to now, like up till now, he kind of seems to have been quite down to earth, for like a king or a fucking leader or ruler or whatever you want to call him. But there's that certain note of arrogance in the way that he just goes, right, come on, let's go, and he just expects everybody to follow. Doesn't even look back. He just expects you all to fucking follow him as he gets up and leaves the room. And he turns to his wife. Does everybody follow?
Worm is and Sir Gregory is.
Sharon is just grabbing as much food in her arms
Yeah,
as she can carry.
The twins have both got like, I can just imagine like a couple of ale mugs in each hand and fucking arms just crammed full of food, crossed over in front of them.
Chicken leg in her mouth, like.
Yeah. Okay.
I'm gonna grab a tankard of beer and I'm gonna give it to Vorak and tell him this is from my homeland. This is from my home. Try this.
He kind of like nods his head as in like, bring it with you. Follow me.
My hands are busy.
Yeah. I imagine like Eco's just sat in the arms with their full of food, just like nibbling away. Like, what's he got here? There's a fucking table full. Don't eat that.
But it tastes better when it's yours.
Obviously, yeah. What are Borgin and Shin doing?
You
come in or are you staying?
No, we'll come with.
That point's a bit like, oh well. It'd be fucking weird not to, wouldn't it?
Yeah, Shin's finished eating food and Borgen's just like, okay, I finished exploring these 4 walls.
You do notice that Sir Gregory is holding the remains of a chicken leg. Just the bones.
What?
You also notice as he walks out that there's bits of shredded chicken fall out of his boot.
Yeah, but the fact that somehow he's eating it.
Ember just looks like, huh? What? And she follows.
The twins don't even fucking notice, and I can't. Wow, I don't know about Sharon, but I don't. If Vorak even noticed, he probably wouldn't even. It would just be like, all right.
Well. Gregory.
Been with him for a long time now. Just fucking. I think the twins. I imagine the twins are just in some kind of weird shocked state that they haven't realised yet. None of it's really hit them yet. It's just like they're in this kind of weird, like fucking limbo where they're just waiting, where all the weird shit and all the crazy shit that's happened since they left the fucking village is just waiting to like.
Yeah, I think
Or-
everything that's happened is like more than they ever expected to happen.
Yeah, or they just got to that point where it's just like, okay, shit's weird out here. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
we'll just keep moving forward and doing what we do until we get home.
The next
He leads you a little way off, not much further, and you find that actually leads you into a similarly designed room, slightly smaller scale, but still with the long, low table in the middle of the room. Well, again, not for use; it's normal size for use, but it's like a long, low table for them. He says, "Oh, well, you can use this as your quarters while you're here." And actually, in this room, you know, where in the other room there were two doors that were shut at the far end of the room. They're opening this, and it's like just fucking. They're almost like bunk rooms. There's just beds in the rooms opposite, so you've got somewhere to sleep. And he turns to Hazel just before you come into the room, and he says, "Do you want to fetch your other guests?" And she's like, she's kind of like, she's limped all this way. She's limped all this way. She kind of looks at me. She's like, fucking. And she just turns to a nearby giant who just so happens to be fucking passing, and asks them to go and retrieve. Now, I haven't got any fucking names because I can't find my notes. Oh, hang on, what's that? That might be my nose. I might have found it. No, looking. No, it's not. I don't know what the fuck that is.
Not your notes.
Well, look, it's been a long time, so they're buried somewhere in the house. I don't know where they are at the minute. I'll find them this week. Can't remember what the names are. But you hear. Well, okay. It's going to annoy me. Like, still with the names. Like, you hear King and Ambassador, but you can't, like, the names just sound like fucking noises to you.
Okay.
Like, they're really, like, no one can understand, like, it's just like, sort of thing. It's like a really odd names that you can't pronounce or really understand. Like, you're not even sure you actually heard fucking words. And the other two are, that's going to piss me off. Hang on. I'll fucking find names in my brain somewhere.
Use your
Doc's
big
hiding.
brain, Jay. Oh my god.
What's he fucking complaining about? Me being stupid.
I don't think he would write that. Just say.
Yeah, I think he'd just say it.
No, really?
Oh no, well, you're dead then.
No, what I mean is, I should have had plus 11, and I've been faffing around with plus 9.
Oh, you haven't had the
I've not
updated one.
clicked the button to say. I'm looking at my inventory, and it's like, why have I only got 2 items attuned? It's because it went awakened, didn't it? And I got rid of the
Oh, fuck it. Right.
first one, and I've not tuned the second one. So yeah.
Take 5 minutes because the cat wants to go out, and I'm going to go and see if I can have a quick look at this book and have a piss.
Tea break.
Yep.
Be right back.
Right, so...
Is Liam back?
Oh, that's a good point. Is Liam there?
Yeah, I'm here.
Liam's still awake.
No, I'm here. I'm here. Can you hear
What?
me?
Can anybody hear Liam? Is he here?
Can
I
you?
think he might be muted.
Oh, probably, yeah. He's checking right now.
I think he's just switched it. No, he is muted.
No,
No,
now he's muted. Yeah. I fucking hope so. Oh, that was
Just
mean.
fix it?
Fun. Yeah, that fixed it. Yeah.
Loud
that
and
was
clear.
really weird.
Liam, you got to remember, right? I'm always taking the piss. So just remember that and you'll be right. So when I say nobody can hear you and everyone starts giggling, it's because
Oh
I
no,
can
no,
only hear you
my,
quite
no,
clearly.
my mic isn't.
I don't think it helped him that we both did it. Is Liam back?
Oh.
Poor Liam.
Okay. Fair
Yeah.
enough.
Yeah, I blame you, oddly enough.
Fair enough.
Right, so what she says to the passing giant is she asked them if they could get the, because she doesn't, it's not a garbled weird sort of fucking noise that she makes, because actually I've just remembered that's not how it would be. She asked them to get the king and the ambassador, which is really weird that they're both there, but you'll understand why another time. The Myconid king and ambassador.
Myconic.
Myconid. Yeah.
Mushroom.
Yeah, mushroom people.
Yeah.
Which
instantly.
there's no fucking way Anya doesn't know what that means.
Uh-huh.
And if they could also fetch the Digger Mattox as well. And then just comes into the room and sits around the table with you while she's sitting. She says, "Oh, there'll be a couple of minutes, and our guest will be here, and we can talk. Make yourselves
The
comfortable."
what? The
Bigger Maddox?
Digger Mattox.
I'm gonna pull on them bizarre Myconids. They're mushroom people. They're made of mushrooms.
Yeah, just as she's saying that. you see entering the room what looks like a tiny little button mushroom man. Like tiny little man thing, like little mushroom. Must be like no more than, like shorter than worm. Yeah. So like maybe 2.5, 3 feet tall. Right. It looks like a little button mushroom. Yeah. Walking in with his little weird mushroom face. And behind him is 12-foot tall, kind of fucking really, I can't think what they're called now. Do you know what those tubular fucking mushroom type things? They're really like long. It's about 12 feet tall coming in behind it. They make their way into the room. To which Hazel introduces them as the Myconid king. She points to the taller one, and the ambassador, the smaller one. Now, this is where shit gets weird because they don't speak. They don't have a language, but they do because they speak in spores.
Yeah.
So it's almost like a form of like to use. It comes across as like a weird sort of telepathy. Yeah. So you sort of just understand what they're saying in your minds.
except Sir Gregory doesn't.
Except Sir Gregory can't. So Sir Gregory just looks at them like because he can't breathe in the spores. But the rest of you, they introduce themselves, and their names are kind of more of a feeling than a name, like a proper name, if you like. There's that kind of like you understand who they are. It's intrinsic to who they are, if that makes sense. It's a weird. I said that's where it gets fucking weird with the Myconids because they don't have a language. Not really. Although, and that's how they
I am
communicate.
sovereign blood.
It's just I am Groot. I am Michael. But yeah, so that's how they kind of. She introduces all the yous, and they introduce themselves in their weird sort of same way. Apart from Sir Gregory's like, Sir Gregory just sees them. I don't know whether Sir Greg. I mean, it's up to you. I don't.
Well, we
Sir
can
Gregory's been around
communicate
for a
with him.
long time. He might know what they are.
He probably doesn't know what they are, but he can't communicate with them because he
Yeah.
can't breathe anything in anymore.
Yeah, that's yeah. Yeah.
I'm gonna tug on Ember again. You should see these guys dance. It's so cool.
And as you say that, the taller one, the key, like they kind of almost like grins in your direction and nods his head a little bit, and they just kind of sort of glide around the table to where they can sit down. And as they take their seats, two.
You know my family.
What?
I wonder if they know my family.
Well, maybe you'll have an opportunity to find out. Then two. I can't think what they're fucking called now. Are they just? No, hang on, fucking deep gnomes. Two deep gnomes coming through. So two very dark-skinned, or like grey, black-skinned gnomes enter the room. Hang on a minute, I can't this is a problem with it being so long in between, is I can't remember what I was thinking all those months ago. Hang on, let's have a look at the names. I think they're both male.
Mhm.
I could be wrong. I can't remember whether they had them as both male or male and female. They're definitely not female names. Anyway, so she introduces them as. So there's one that's kind of like. You're very typical depiction of the deep gnomes, you know, with the big hands, big feet, big nose, and the fucking bald head. But the one next, the male next, so she introduces him as Dorbo.
Huh?
Digamatic, Matok. Sorry, not Matic. Digamatic. That's actually a thing. And the other one, who is actually a little leaner, and not balding actually, he's got a little bit of hair, as Seni. Digamatok. They are, and she informs you, they are the kings
Mhm.
of the deep gnomes in this area, of the specific clan. And they kind of like nod to you all and look a bit confused as to why they're here in amongst this group at the moment. Which Hazel then gets up and shuts the door, which like so, and then casts some kind of spell on it, and you see a big rune flash on it, big giant rune flash on it, and then she says, "Right, we should be free to talk now," and comes to sit back at the table. At that, Gesdan turns. Oh, he's already facing the table, and he's like just like saying hello to the guests and stuff like that. And then,
Mhm.
as they've all sat on the doors, he says, "What? What?
What?
Trying to see what she
What?
cares.
Yeah.
You can't see; it's too far away, apparently."
No,
It's not that complicated.
Look,
Anybody that knows Giant, so the twins,
Mm.
and I think doesn't Shin know it or somebody weird? Was it Borgen? I can't remember. Somebody else knows Giant as well. It's just a warding. It's like it's essentially the Giant word for. It's not really protection as such. It is
Yeah.
more warding, as in like there's like to seal. To
Okay.
close off a place, sort of thing. So it's just like it's just a ward. It's just a
Okay,
ward
lock.
again. Sort of, yeah. More, but also more on a like so people can't get like.
I ain't dropping no eaves.
Yeah, like I guess for the twins because they'd understand. Like anybody that understands Giant would understand that it probably means that this room's like somebody would have to be quite powerful. You have to use quite powerful magic to be able to even listen in this room, sort of thing.
Okay.
Now that it's been ruined by her.
Warded.
Yeah, essentially. So it's but essentially she sealed off the room to anybody that might be wanting to try and listen in. Just at that moment, actually, Vorax just like, oh shit, okay. He looks at his sister, he's like, does that mean this is getting serious?
I think this is getting serious, yes. But look.
I might have had too much to drink to be serious.
Hold on, and she smacks him across the face.
Whoa!
Pickles,
Yeah, I'm good.
Piggy that you said.
You feel better?
Yeah,
Oh, good.
yeah, that's much better. Yeah, I can focus now. Anyway, so once everybody's made themselves comfortable, he turns to the newcomers and he says, "Well, actually, no, he looks to you, to our group. I'm assuming you're all in like a sort of."
Are we
Similar
like
space. He looks
our
over
group
the
on
group.
one side and the newcomers on the other
Well,
side of the table?
That's honestly, that's completely up to you. I don't.
That makes
But
sense.
he kind of look, as in like he'll look around us because there's too many of us for him to just look in one direction and see us all anyway. If you sat at a table, although he could be if you're all on one side. And he says, "Support our other guests here because we have been making a plan for a long time to deal with the drow, and even if it's just to, well, our original goal was to kind of knock them back a bit and put them on their back foot. We don't really have the resources or the manpower to defeat them as such, but we could more than bloody their nose." And he starts to lay out well, so essentially, well, all right. So I'm not going to fucking do the whole thing all the way through. So he says, he tells you a little bit of the history of what's been going on in the Underdark over the past so many. You're not even sure how many years it goes back because he doesn't really say. But like so the Myconids, as far as they're aware, in the Underdark on this continent, so on Wildmount, as far as we're aware, these, and he indicates to the Myconids, are the last surviving colony Myconids on this continent in the Underdark, and they are currently they came to the Giants years and years ago looking for sanctuary because they'd been driven out of their homes by the drow. And since then, there's been a lot of the other races have either been subjugated, enslaved, which isn't much of a difference when it comes to the drow, or eradicated by the drow. And the only factions that are really surviving now are what you see before you. There are the Deep Gnomes, the Giants, and the Myconids. So in an attempt to hit back and slow down their progress before they discover the last hideout of the Deep Gnomes, or even decide to commit to taking out the Giants, they've decided to strike at them. But they were not, so their plan so far, up until now, is that essentially the fire giants, and he pulls well, he doesn't pull out. I'd say he produces a map. I'm assuming it was bought because it was asked for. I don't know. I can't remember. That shows you like an area, if you like, of the Underdark as best as they can get it. Of the, he explains to you this is like the Menzo Baronzon, if you like. Yeah, the drow, the main drow city at the center of their vast web of cities outposts and what have you. And it kind of like some of the area surrounding it, some of the tunnels and stuff around. But it's a really complex map because unlike normal maps that we'd see, where everything's on like the surface, there's tunnels coming into it from all different heights and angles and different places because it actually spans, as he explains to you, all 3 levels of the Underdark. So the upper Underdark, the Underdark, and the lower Underdark. The deep, yeah, basically, yeah. So there's all kinds of bridges and tunnels and stuff coming in from all different angles. So essentially, their plan up until now was to have the giants. Basically, there was going to be a 2-pronged attack. The giants themselves were going to march out and march on the Drow city and come through from a seemingly foolhardy attempt to take the main gate. So there's all these tunnels and stuff and bridges leading into the Drow city, yeah, which is kind of almost looks like it's suspended in the middle of this map in the Underdark. But there is one that's clearly a main thoroughfare, a main bridgeway into the city.
Didn't our ogre friend tell us about that when you were deciding what to do? That there was one stronghold before the main city.
Yeah. So the plan was for the giants themselves to attack those gates and that stronghold and basically just cause as much trouble and as much harm as they could without taking too much damage. But obviously, the idea was to commit to an attack there as a distraction, essentially, to draw the Drow and the guard. Well, most of the Drow and the guards and whatever they needed to out the city, and what seemed to be, or would seem to be, a foolhardy attempt to take on the Drow themselves. Whilst simultaneously, the Deep Gnomes, who have been working on their side of the plan for a very long time, would essentially would detonate bombs underneath the city, in amongst all the sort of tunnels and sewer outlets and other tunnels that they've been digging themselves slowly over time that are under the city. However, and he kind of looks over you all again, and he says, maybe with your help we could take it further. Maybe.
Worm just says, well, that seems fine. He looks around at everyone and he says, I think it was a week ago we decided to just come round and swat him.
He's like, yeah, but listen, they're all going to be distracted. They're all going to be at the gates. Then the city's going to start blowing up. Chaos everywhere. What if you, a smaller group, enter through those tunnels, and when all the bombs start going off, attack the palace itself?
How protected will the palaces
Well,
be?
that sounds more complicated than the plan we were going to do, which was just attack the gate.
It's like, yeah, but do you really think you could take the city?
You just sort of look at each other and go, yeah?
Yeah, Vorac's like, well, I'll give it a go. It can't be much worse than that last place we took out, surely. Because Vorac just, again, it's back to that, Vorac clearly just has no understanding of what millions of Drow living in one place looks like. So,
but you said a palace, that means, fancy pantsy.
so Worm actually Worm would know.
Yeah, but Worm's only ever seen like 10 or 15 Drow at one time.
But you've been inside. I'm assuming you've been inside. You must have been inside the palace.
Yeah, but as I said, he only ever sees like 10 or 15 Drow at a time.
Yeah, so actually even Worm probably doesn't really fully understand just how many. Well, you haven't. Yeah, because actually that's a good point. Because even when we've attacked camps, there's not been that many Drow.
Oh,
in one place.
that's what I mean. It's like, there must be like 30, 40, something.
It's like, so the kid. It's like, have you ever? Guy kind of rubs his forehead a little bit, like, fucking hell. Have you been into a city?
Yes, that's where I was from.
Yeah, but where you could see people moving around.
I'm just gonna sigh and just come with. Okay, so what's the population of Menzoberranzan?
Vorac's like, yeah.
What's the population of Menzoberranzan? Does anybody know?
It's probably like tens of thousands. Probably like 30,000 or something. I don't know.
Yeah,
Although-
is that one of them telling us that? 'Cause-
No.
'cause I think
Anyway,
I
so the
probably
point
got
is, so
more
like,
clues,
so Vorek's like, well, we just came from, we were in what's the dwarf city? He goes to his sister. He's like,
Uthadorn.
what's it? Uthadorn. Yeah,
Uthadorn.
we've been there. He's like, well, that's a good example. So all those people that lived in there, were all drow,
Mhm.
but they die really easily.
Yeah, and you can't fight all of them at the same time.
Yeah, they can't all fight me.
Yeah.
No,
My
and
sister.
not everyone
And,
can be,
nobody
you
can
know,
fight well.
warrior fighters. Can they? Can they?
He's just like,
Why?
"Ah."
She looks at her brother. There can't be an
He's
entire
like-
city of warriors.
It's like, no, but there is an army, probably several thousand.
Yeah,
And
but-
leaders
but,
amongst
right,
them,
right, listen,
And-
right,
and
listen. Right.
priestesses.
In a room, right, in a room,
mages.
you can only get so many people. Right? And they're the only ones who can fight us
You
at any one
wouldn't be-
time.
But you wouldn't be in a room. You'd be
That's
in the.
why you fight them in the room.
Yes, exactly. So you get into the palace and you
Palace.
fight them all in the palace.
Fighting palace.
They say it's actually, well, he's calling it a palace because they don't think he actually knows what it is. It is sort of, but it's like a tower ish.
Yeah.
It's like a massive spire in the middle of the city, essentially.
Mm-hmm.
And there's probably, oh, well, there is, because Worm would know. Although he's probably never been in it. There'd be like the main temple to Lolth in there and stuff like that as well.
There's nothing in there. That's where you get taken and killed. So
Yeah, the people don't come back out of there unless they're the
Hmm.
priestesses or the matron herself, essentially. Um,
although he could probably walk in now, it'd be fine.
Anyway, so whilst all this is being said, no, actually no, you don't because the room's warded. He's like, but the matron's really powerful, right? And kind of looks at Worm, nodding as if to say, "Come on, you got to fucking know that." Like, really powerful, more powerful than any of the priestesses. With lots of guards around her.
Mm,
And
not
priestess.
always.
Well, exactly. So you can take her out. They take her out. No one can give orders.
Well, that's what I would do anyway. But it was just
Yeah.
you're making it more complex. How we get there? I was just going to walk in through the gate.
You can walk through the
Yeah, now we
grates
gotta.
outside the palace. You know, he actually says. What he does say. He says the one problem they've got at the minute is that they've not been able to tunnel under the palace. There's some kind of. So if you were
Don't you
to
have
do
those
it this
horrible
way.
creatures?
the what?
Those horrible creatures. Don't you have those? The horrible thing that comes out of walls and things go ah, and they land and you die. Kind of.
He's like,
thing.
no, we don't have any of those. No. He says no, but he's basically saying it's magically warded. There seems to be some kind of warding, but actually, Worm, you'd know that that's probably because there's really deep cellars with lots of treasures underneath the palace,
Mm.
or at least
But then,
that's
but
what you're
then
told,
Worm
so.
has
And
now
also
said
dungeons and
from
stuff.
stood behind the king
Yeah.
that he just says, "Yeah, but I can walk where I like."
The fucking hell! Oh, fuck! Oh. He's,
But
As you can see, he's like clutching his chest like he's gonna have a fucking heart attack. He said, "That's all well and good, but can you do that in the palace that's warded?" Oh.
what about the rest of us? We're not as.
What I would say, yeah, I mean that is also true. I mean that's only Worm, although we have seen what Worm has been able to achieve. The only thing I'd say,
Sneak.
Worm.
You can sneak? Was that what you said? Anya?
Yeah, I can literally go in Mum's pocket.
Yeah. Yeah,
actually,
you can. But I'm thinking for the rest of us.
So, You're not sure, Worm, whether it was just some kind of like fear and control tactic or what, but as you were growing up and whilst you were enslaved, it was a firmly held belief that was occasionally reinforced by certain things that happened as a result of it, that the matron herself was able to know everything that happened within the palace. Whether you still believe that she's able to do that is down to you, but that was a strongly held belief amongst all the slaves and such servants that were in the palace.
Mm-hmm.
I guess a lot of it comes down to how it's a weird, how much fear Worm still has of her. I guess at this point, I mean that's to you. But it is a strongly held belief that nothing happens without her knowing. But you don't.
Yeah, but the fact that in the past he messed around with her stuff and learned how to use the crossbow and stuff before using grasping it when he was escaping means that he was always a little bit
skeptical.
pushing the limits, shall we say?
So that's their plan. Well, they hadn't got a timeline on the plan yet, because he actually said, he says, we haven't got a timeline in it yet because the deep gnomes, and he kind of points to the Digomatox and says, I haven't finished my planting the bombs yet, essentially. To which actually Dorbo says, yeah, we did last night actually. He's like, yep, no, we've done that. The last one were in place now. So but they hadn't got a timeline on when it was going to happen yet. However, they can bring it forward if you want.
And what are the mushroom people doing? Because you've talked about the giants and the thingies, the
yeah. So then the ambassador releases his spores in your face. That's what they do.
As you do.
Yeah.
Wonder loves that.
Oh, again. And basically, that essentially informs you in the weird way that they have of informing you that they are the ones who provided the explosive materials from certain fungi that they harvest and that they have been harvesting a lot of lately, even though they don't really like to. Because certain myconids aren't, but most myconids, and you assume, those of you that know anything about them, that these ones are of the type that are essentially pacifist. So they're more likely to just knock you out with their spores and leave you and move, or move you away if you're close to their home, than to actually try and kill you or attack you. That's not really in their nature. Some myconids throughout history have been known to be warped and twisted, or born wrong, if you like, who will attack and will hurt and use their abilities to do so. But for the most part, the myconids don't really like to. So you can see that they're kind of like... You get the sense from his spory, because it's telling the story with his spores, that he's like, they're not really, they're doing it because they know that it's necessary, if that makes sense, not because it's something that they'd want to do.
It's a survival thing.
Yeah, I mean, otherwise, if the Drow ever decide to come if the Drow decide to turn their attention on the Fire Giants, I mean, it might take the Drow a long time, but eventually they're going to win. Or at least that's how they see it. Because you got to remember, like, for them, they've seen over decades, possibly even centuries, the Underdark being taken over by the Drow. And like almost like it seems almost inevitable that it's going to happen at some point, and that's why they're trying to strike back now or soon. But yeah, so they essentially they can pull it. They can essentially, as long as they can rally. Well, once they said they need time to rally the fire giants and march on the city.
Yeah.
Is essentially what you're saying. That's so if yous are willing to if you want to make use of the distraction in whatever it is you want to do. Obviously, he is strongly feels that you should attack the palace, but but he also admits that he's only just come up with that as he was walking from the other rooms here because he didn't know what the missing piece was, but he feels like it might be us as a group. But if there's another way that you feel you can use that distraction to help you achieve your goal, because you want her, right? That's the goal for us is to take out the mage. And as much as we've managed to just survive everything that we've attempted by just running it headlong so far, might not work here. But that's up to you. That's for something. That's for
Base
you to...
tanking works. Base
tanking, yeah, it does work.
Base
sometimes.
tanking works. It's worked perfectly, and we've never failed so far. So why change?
Because I can't imagine Worm wants to end up in a Drow prison. But I also don't know whether Worm believes that would actually happen to him now because of everything that's happened in the last.
That's what I mean. At this point, it's like
2 years that the group's been together, maybe.
Winning strategies.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Look at what it is. Learn as little as you can about it. What's a white dragon like? Oh, they're like really predatory and a bit nasty. Right, cool. How big are they? Fucking huge. Right. So should we just go and fucking hit it with some of them? Yeah, let's go and do that. Yeah. Okay.
I think
Yeah,
I know what we'll do.
And
actually, every time we try and sneak, it never fucking works anyway. What about that time we tried to sneak around the island in a boat, and then the dragon turtle was just fucking waiting for us anyway? And then we just had to beat it all.
Oh no!
And what about when we tried?
shame.
What about when we tried to like, find the little pirates on Broken Back?
Yeah.
And we like snuck all through the tunnels. Then Worm was all like, sneaky, took out a few people. And then it was like, oh shit, that didn't work. And then we had to beat everybody up anyway.
Well, he managed it when he was on his own. With
exactly. Yeah, that's true. He's like, well, essentially, he says, well, we've got a few days before we can put everything, the plan into action, our plan into action anyway. So, and he presents you with a map, which I haven't got at the minute, so I can't. I will
No, that's
find
fine. Shara can't read maps anyway.
What?
Well, welcome back. I'm like, what the fuck?
What are those gems that you're etching all about then?
So, you say that. Gazan looks at his wife sideways, and she kind of like sideways looks at him, and then looks at Ember, and then looks back at him, and she says,
What?
well, then looks back at her husband again, and she kind of looks back at you, she's like, well, we're gonna have to trust him at some point. And he's kind
Why
of.
are you looking at me?
What?
Ember's like, why are you
Oh,
looking
right,
at
because
me?
you're the fucking Cobalt Soul. And there's secrets that they might not want you to know.
I pledged already not to write anything.
She has sworn herself to secrecy. She looks at her husband and he's like, you're the Forge Caller. You're cool. Essentially, is what he says to her. And she says,
She pulls up her book
she
again and goes, I haven't written anything.
it's fine. We can provide aid if you need it. In fact, we will anyway, because even having seen everything you're capable of, if I still feel like anything we can give you to provide you with an edge would be helpful. So I will. And she kind of nods to herself. She goes, I'll provide you each with a runestone. And she kind of looks at her husband and goes, stands up, pulls herself up off the floor, like stretches out the kinks in her back. And she says, well, if I'm going to, I'd better start now, hadn't I?
There's just a thing like, what's one of them? Yeah, because literally, I think everyone's looking at each other. Is like, a what?
Yeah. With Ember now?
No.
That's what everyone's like.
No.
A what?
It's like, right. So before she leaves the room and breaks the seal, she says, "They are stones that can help enhance your abilities in certain ways, potentially, or more."
So you're gonna give us some rock?
Is it drugs?
She says, "I will speak to each of you individually.
Oh.
I need to go and make a start. But I will call on you individually when I need you, and then you'll understand more." Even now, even though she's like, we're gonna have to be honest and open with them, she's still kind of being enigmatic about it. She's still like, don't want to give too much away. Like, you get the. Actually, she doesn't. Before she leaves, she says, "Look, I'm not trying to hide information from you, but there's very few giants who understand what goes into rune magic. It's kept secret for a reason."
Says, and she does it in Giant, we have to trust each other in this.
Right, she nods at you. She's like,
to Giant.
She kind of says to you back in Giant, the fact basically says to you that the fact that we would give any of you runestones is a sign of trust. There are, and now that you actually no one else you wouldn't know, but there were like 3 giants in that room, and they were all, and including her, they're the only people that know rune magic. However, she does say, but you will know more about it by the time we're done. It's hard to. Essentially, I mean, she's not going to say it now because there's also other people in the room. Although she's saying it to you in Giant, in fairness. So she actually says to you in Giant that she doesn't want to speak about it in front of their other guests.
Okay.
And she nods at you and then just leaves the room after breaking the seal. To which
Yeah.
King's like, yeah, we'll have to, kind of like, it's like, shit, you broke that quick. I was still talking. Damn it. He's like, we'll have to call the meeting there then, I guess. Well, I'll leave you the map. If you can come up with a plan. We are happy to try and incorporate that plan into ours. Find me if you need me. Anybody will know where I am. But he kind of points to just a passing giant who just kind of like, oh. He says, I'd better get back. And he looks at Worm. I better get back to ruling my kingdom. Please rest, relax. Take some time to. We kind of looked over you.
While you're still doing that, Worm's just like curled up on the corner of a bed, just like he's snoring already.
Yeah, so Worm's already gone. He's like, oh, right, shit. But yeah, so he's like, basically essentially, to anybody that's still awake, he just says, if there's anything you need, just speak to a passing giant, and they'll either be able to direct you to where to find it, or be able to get it for you.
Great, thank you.
He says, but yeah, take time to rest and recuperate and think, I guess. And he leaves you, and he takes, and the mushrooms, the myconids.
That's the thing before I leave, Erskine.
About my book. Can I show them my book?
Um,
Will we see them again?
Oh, yeah, they have a colony here. You don't know where it is. You can
Oh,
ask them
okay.
where it. Like they. So as they're leaving, they say goodbye to you all, and they actually say to Anya, "You can come." And they actually kind of, because I say it's a fucking weird. It's not a language, so they imprint.
Talk into your head, don't they?
Yeah, well, it's spores. Yeah, it's not like telepathy, but it sort of is.
Yeah.
like you understand what they're saying or wanting to convey to you, but without words. And they show you where they are, where they live, and they say, "Come visit us tomorrow after you've rested," essentially, or whenever you want to.
I will thank them.
And they glide out of the room on their weird little myconid legs.
Eric pulls up the map.
The
and he's
Digamatox,
like,
that's the word, that's the name, it's Digamatox. They
yeah.
look around at the rest of you that are still awake and say, "Well, this should be fun." That's Senny that says that, and Dorbo's just like, "Well, yeah, unless somebody gets blown up." Just walk out of the room.
You heard that, brother? They have fireworks.
Yeah, all bang bangs. Yeah, I like bang fireworks. They're fun. I assume nobody corrected twins. And the fact that these are explosives big enough to take out foundations of buildings. It's like, yeah, fireworks.
No, wait.
Fucking
It's something different. It's something different.
No. God, I can't fucking feel like shit. I actually genuinely feel fucking worse than I did earlier.
Why do you like this?
I know, it's pissing me off. It's always fucking. I said to you earlier, it's like, how comes Aspie, like, the week Kathleen's been off work for over a month? Like, Kieran's, we reduced education over fucking summer. We're about to go back to normal. Like, so Kathleen's going back to work, and Kieran's about to fucking about to up his education. I feel like shit. I know, and it's Saturday, obviously. Fucking first time playing D&D in fucking months, and I feel like shit. Like, yay. Right, so there is something for you all to think about. Like, you can all go and take a rest, so you can all get a long rest. The doors should be high. Like, it takes a second to work it out, but the twins, like, when you all realise that the twins sort of instinctively close the doors, you realise that you just kind of have to, like. Well, actually, no, you don't. Actually, who is it? Who else speaks Giant?
Not Ember.
There is some. Is it Borgen? I think. Does
No.
Borgen speak Giant, or was it Shin?
Yeah, it was Borg, and he was listening.
Right.
And he was like,
Yeah. So Borgen understood all of that. The doors to the bedrooms just shut by you just telling them to in Giant, and they open by you telling them to in Giant. That's pretty essentially it. And you don't even have to say it. You can just kind of think it in Giant.
Then there's Shin going, open, move.
Fucking stupid. Yeah, that's the thing. So like, she'd ask the twins out to open the door. It's like, you just tell them.
Yeah,
Look.
you just say.
Yes.
Giant.
So, yeah, no, you tell them to open or close. And then just. So Vorik says it as he steps into the room, and the door just shuts behind him and shuts Shin out.
Your accent's so horrible. No, you need to work on that. No, that's wrong.
Yeah.
No.
He's more
No.
grumble.
Ah.
Right. So, you're going to have to. I've got some ideas.
Mm-hmm.
So, I don't want to give everything away that the runestones are meant for. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
However, they are on the base level at which you'll receive them. They will enhance slightly. So you're talking either like an ability score that you want enhancing by a couple of points. Maybe so that's at a basic level. If you just want an ability score increased by a couple of points, that's fairly straightforward. They will have other properties, but they'll become apparent later. So don't worry about that. If there's specific abilities that like, so basically essentially the stones are engraved with giant runes for certain things, right? So not that it would be helpful to Worm because he already has it, but like for example, if you wanted to be luckier, then the giant word for luck could be inscribed into it, and you could, instead of having an ability score increase, you could be luckier, or you could have like gain advantage on certain abilities, etc. So I need you all to I've got some ideas of what I think would work for each person, but I want to get your. I don't want to just like be like, oh, this is what you got. So if you just want to give me some input during the week between now and next session, probably next week, about what it is that you like, just talk like, and we can talk it out and stuff like that. So like, say like you know, trying to think of the fucking things. So like so other than ability score, so like I say like you could maybe be lucky, maybe possibly pick up a feat. As long as it works, like as long as it's like, it's like sort of like a one-word sort of thing. So yeah, I mean, like feats, possibly some feats would fit into that, as long as they're not too big, if that makes sense. In a way that would make sense. And then there will be other like I say, there will be. So I just want you to have a think about what you might want for each of the characters and how you might want them represented as well, if that makes sense. Like, so like, how do you want them? Like, so Gregory might just want it implanted into his armor, for example.
Beloved chest.
Somebody might want rings or earrings, necklaces, and it can be like, it can be twin stones as well. It doesn't have to just be the one stone, if that makes sense. They could be twin stones that work together to produce the outcome that you're hoping for. So yeah, just have a look at things like that, like skill improvements, possibly ability scores, if you just want a straightforward ability score. Possibly feats, if they fit in. All right, we can talk about it. If there's something you could think of that would be cool, even if it's just the ability to cast certain spells that you wouldn't have access to, that can be talked about. But they will also have hidden abilities that you'll discover later. So that's going to have its own moment. So I'm not telling you. Also, what the plan is going forward. So I'm assuming the start of the next session, once we've sorted out people getting their rune stones and shit like that. So possibly the next session or the session after will be making our way to Menzo Berenzan. So we need to know what the thoughts, what kind of plan you have got for tackling that. Whether you,
that's gonna be
what you can cook up between you, so that I can start arranging stuff around that.
Yeah, so just have that conversation with you in private,
about the runes, if you want to, or I mean, you can do it in the fucking. You don't have to. You don't have to do it in private. You can do it on fucking on the D&D chat. It's just, it might get lost in it. That's all. Yeah. It's not like it doesn't have to be unless you want to hide it from the rest of the group. It's up to you. So you don't have to. I mean, or if you're just not sure. Anyway, so but I think I'm going to have to publish it tonight because I can't. Well, I can't really move ahead without. I can't really move ahead without the information anyway. And I am.
That is a good stopping point.
And it's not even hot. It's not even hot, and I'm literally
No,
just fucking.
but it gives us time
Yeah.
to plan.
That's
so-
Well,
Beth.
what I would say is that between. Oh, also, obviously, Anya's going to want to go and visit the Myconids and stuff like that. There is, there's possibly a couple of sessions between now and when we leave the city, because I might have something fun planned for next week, so that you've got a bit more time to think about the runes and stuff. I won't spoil it because I might not do it. But yeah, you'll also have a few days in the it's a keep, but it's a vast keep the size of a city, so because it's made by giants. But yeah, so you'll have a few days here, so you're going to get long rests and plenty of food and stuff, and there's things going on. Obviously, Anya will want to go and visit the Myconids. If there's so for Sir Gregory as well, I know obviously you wanted looking at some kind of enhancement. I know that there was, I can't remember exactly what it was, but Helen said something about. You said you wanted something to do with your weapon for Anya.
Oh yeah.
I had. I've got that on my phone somewhere. We can. The only problem. See, I was going to tie that into Pico's adventure.
Oh, Pico.
Little Pico.
So maybe.
I have a question for you.
Go on.
Where are we trying to get to?
In terms.
Into-
Ransom.
Particularly, we're trying to get into either the main temple or house, whatever it is, the word in it, right?
Well, she's no, because she's Katira. That's her family line, but she resides in the what is essentially the main temple palace.
Anyway, whatever.
Residence,
Well,
anyway.
but can I link something on? Can I link on it? See that spell there?
I can do that.
Yes.
Right.
And Worm existed in the place where the matron is. And we have Sir Gregory who can take images of what you can see and let everyone know what they are. So
Oh shit.
does that mean that if there is a teleportation circle in that location, that we can literally just appear in that location?
Yeah, it does. Yeah, I would definitely. That's cool as shit. Yeah. Also, you don't even have to go through all the fucking. Yeah.
Because you need to become familiar with it. But if you can literally see what it looks like, then
Oh, that's smart.
Hang on, let me just.
And that's a 5th level spell, which I have 2 of, which means
Each unique sequence. Yeah, okay.
boom the fuck out again.
Okay. Hang on a minute.
so it's like we could have one to I don't know.
Well, you probably. I would say that if Ember knows it, then Ember's got one to the library in Uthadon.
Yeah, so there'd be one to there, and there'd be another one that
and maybe another. Well, actually, it's up to you where you want the other one to be, but it could be another Cobalt Soul library somewhere on the world. That would be the most likely, I would have thought, for Ember to know.
Yeah, so she knows about those two when she's learning how to do it. But it's like, yeah, but then she knows how to. You can commit a new sigil.
After studying it for 1 minute, well, that's like you say. If Worm knows what it looks like, So I guess that's the thing, isn't it? Is as long as nothing gets lost in translation. Yeah, I mean that might work. You could try it. You can certainly try. That would be a cool way to like. Or just imagine being the fucking matron and all the fucking like house captains and all the priestesses and that. There's all this shit going off outside the city, and you're all like, "Oh fucking hell, what are the giants doing?" And there's a bunch of explosions, and you're like, "Fucking hell, what are the giants doing?" And then suddenly, fucking worm just strides out of a fucking side room. It's like, that bitch. What fucking giants? They're the least of your problems.
Wow. But that is smart.
That is smart, actually. I like that. Oh, right. Okay, so.
I mean, the thing is, I've not like that. I've not. I can't say that I've deliberately set anything up this way. It's just that as we've done things, it's like, oh yeah, this is how things happen. This is how Sagogo can do to speak to you,
Yeah.
and do things. And I'm just.
But it's already established that he can show others.
Yeah. That's the thing. But it's like,
he can
well,
show others memories. The key is that it's rooted well enough in Worm's memory that it doesn't get mistranslated by Sir Gregory, because obviously they're very unique. That's the key, isn't it? Is making sure that.
yeah. But he's like,
but-
it's a place that he doesn't want to go. Really doesn't want to go, and it's like burning into his memory.
Yeah,
Like,
I'd buy that. Actually, I gotta be honest. That's one of those where the rule of cool. Well, that's one of those where the rule of cool trumps any of the fucking. But does it really? It's like, yeah, it does. Because I fucking
I'm
said
sure
so.
we got the gems as well, though. 50 gold worth of gems. I'm sure we have
brave.
that.
Oh no, I don't know about
I'm in a big cave thing.
I
that.
think.
Not sure about that.
Yeah, Worm's got a portable hold full of them, so it's like, yeah, it's not really going to be any
Just
to do
imagine
that.
Ember being like,
But I need 50
has anybody
gold
got
pieces. To...
any
you have any
gems that I
gems?
could use to cast this spell? And Worm's like, oh right, yeah.
Yeah,
Just like, yeah, what do you need?
yeah. Which colour do you want?
Yeah, it's just,
Is one of each?
yeah, just one of each, just mix them all up.
Yeah.
Like, wow, brown, nice.
I haven't seen that one.
When you mix all the
That
colours
one's
together, it
new.
comes brown, doesn't it? Yeah.
Yeah.
It's sparkly brown. What?
That's
Polishing
a
it to.
good idea.
Yeah, I like that actually.
When the king comes back and says, right, what's the plan? It's like, well, we're just
We're
gonna.
gonna tell it, yeah.
They see that circle on the floor and they go, yeah. It's like that. If you stand on that, you get taken to the temple.
What?
It doesn't say how many.
No, because it's just
Max-
it makes a portal.
So
It's a
we
round.
could grab people and go in with.
As long as you
Oh no,
can
yeah, you can.
move through in a round,
Um,
then you just move through it.
Yeah.
It's
So it doesn't necessarily just means our group. We can bring people with us.
I think
Well, it's
well, you
not
know,
a
because you can make it a permanent one.
Yeah.
Oh no, you got to do that every day for a year.
Yeah.
Oh
Yeah,
well,
we'll
I mean,
do
it doesn't.
that.
It's still a.
That's when you want to create one that you can go
How
to. So if you put one, if we have a bastion, then you keep creating a teleportation circle in it. Then you end up having a teleportation
Yeah,
circle
yeah,
in
yeah.
your bastion that you just keep going back to. But what this
Right,
is,
so-
once you cast the spell in it, then
How'd
it
you
just
get out,
opens the
though?
portal that you walk through it.
Bump
Because you know it's a
that.
one. You know it's a one-way trip, right? Oh no, it's not.
No, not if
Fucking
there's
hell.
a teleportation circle
Because then you
there,
can use
and
the
we can bounce
teleportation
back
circle
to...
there to teleport to fucking Uthodurn or something.
Mm.
Yeah.
Or if there's a
uh,
teleportation circle here, somewhere here or
What's it
something,
called?
anywhere that
other
Ember knows.
city? That other city. Oh
What,
god,
the
I
Ember
can't remember. Yeah, because she came
Oh,
originally
there'd be a
from
few.
the
There'd be a
other,
few with
the other
oh,
big city in the Empire.
Rexenthrum.
Yeah,
Rexen,
that's the one.
Rexen.
Yeah,
Okay.
but she would know the
Look,
one
look it up.
in
Where?
Uthodurn.
Wrexham, yeah, Wrexham.
So,
Yeah.
it's Wrexham.
Yeah, that's the one. Is it? I can't. If that is at the centre of the Empire, I can't. But we can work it out
Is
anyway
that-
when it comes to.
That's the country.
Yeah.
She
So
would
have
know
a
that
think
one, and the Uthodurn
about-
one.
something that might be cool for gem rune magic.
Yeah.
fucking hell. Anything you might need to do whilst you're in the town, city, keep, whatever the fuck it is. There's not huge, like unlimited resources, but they're obviously willing to help you with provision, anything that you might that they've got that you might need, that they're able to help you with, if that makes sense. Obviously, we can have a think about what. What the fuck? Right, so the rune. Hang on, there was something else. There was the runes. Oh, we've already decided on how we're getting there, apparently. Obviously, Anya wants to go and visit the Myconids. There might be something else on this. Right, okay, yeah. So just the main thing I need you to think about is the runes and what you might want from them. But we might have a bit more than just a week, because I say if we might pick. Might do something else next week.
Okay.
But I didn't as D&D, but something a bit different. Also, because at some point we will do the Pico adventure, although I now have to include Kieran in it. Because I mentioned it to him, and he was like, "Yeah, I want to be a pseudo dragon."
No.
Thought you might. But if there are any, we'll at some point we will do a Pico adventure thing. Possibly sooner than later, actually, because like I said, although
then Halloween next month in October. Ooh.
Yeah, that's true. Oh yeah, shit, Belle. We better hurry up and deal with the matron then, haven't we?
Where'd they go?
Yeah, or we'll just hang around with the giants for like the next few sessions. Do a Pico adventure, and then we'll go and do it after Halloween. When everybody's like, right, seriously, if this green shit happens one more time, we're gonna have to do something about it. So every 3 months now. But yes, so just to give you an idea of the Pico adventure and the critters type creatures that he's playing, or that you would be playing. So I already thought that Kieran would probably want to play a pseudo dragon.